Even in my days, when we used to write artificial intelligence code, our profs used to say, hey, you have limited computational, so you can't do that because it will, if you really want to build a scenario, you will require humongous amount of computational power. Now you can, and computational power means you have to basically scale things. You have to add more machines or something like that. And leapfrog is another word. I'm so glad you have mentioned that. Do you think machines, and everybody talks about it, and a lot of people are making huge statements and remarkable statements, rightly or wrongly. I'm nobody to judge. Do you think machines are going to play a very, very important role, and especially in a country like India, which is young, which is growing, and which also has a problem of productivity and employment both, and now machines? What do you say? So give us your perspective, educate us on that.
I think the evolution in technology, of course, there's always this plateauing of technology. People talk about, how thin can a semiconductor get anymore, etc. But I think the cost of technology will continue to decline, right? And what does that technology mean? It's really processing power and storage, right? Those two, I think there is still a lot of headway to go on, right? The battery life and so on is getting better, and I think more research is going on. So the mobility factor will continue to happen. And I don't think we should ever put technology as a constraint, right? Because they will find a solution for that. It's a question of, do we have enough capability to leverage that technology, which is where I think all these hackathons really come into being, right? Can they really leverage these technologies? Then the question comes that when you talk about technologies, clearly things like robotics and automation and artificial intelligence, right? This is a continuum, so we should not use them as three different words. Because they are linked in a manner.
It's a convergence of them, which makes sense.
Yeah. So there are many things that the robots and the bots and the bots would be able to do better, right? And take away the stuff. So I don't think we have a choice. You cannot resist the technology wave, right? So robotics will come in, artificial intelligence will come in. Now, should the whole world worry that are machines taking me over? I'm really not going to comment on it. Because these debates have been going on since the robots first got into a factory. Mankind and their mind moves on to the next job, right? So later on, earlier 20 years back, one of the biggest thing we did was to call up somebody to do password resetting. Now, password resetting has been handed over back to you. You reset it yourself, right, using technology. So did some jobs get lost? Yeah, but that job moved on to some other role. So I think we have to leverage technology to do what's best for us and actually leverage it to create more jobs, right? If every sixth, seventh person in the world is an Indian, we don't need so many Indians to service just this country, right? So I think the rest of the world has issues of negative population growth, right? Young people not getting into tech. Right? Technology is still becoming more and more required, right? So I think we should be looking at areas where we would not only serve our own country, but the whole world, which is what the IT industry did. And, right? And I think we have scope of, whether it's through Make in India or whatever, to do it in other places as well. Now, the moment electric car would come in, right, and the cost of the battery from current $300 per kilowatt is going to probably come down to $150 or even lower. Right? Yes. In 2 years' time, the economics of petrol versus electric would turn in favor of electric. Yes. People will solve the charging problem, whether they will do by swapping batteries or they would be batteries that can be charged at higher temperatures or fast charging batteries. The jury is still out. So what we have to do is to be sure that we are ready as it happens. And are we changing our own plans, keeping that vision rather than saying, or looking the other way around and saying, oh, India, it will never happen.
And it is as important to us as to anyone else from a sustainability.
It will happen probably earlier. So I think there are huge changes ahead, right, which would impact our lives for the positive. Surely there will be stress that will be there on certain professions and jobs. it became an entitlement that if I've done computer science, I get a job. And then it's an entitlement that once I've joined one of these IIT companies, I'll be on a fast track and maybe sent to US. So I think young people should realize that entitlement is no longer there. Their jobs are getting disrupted, right? And there are two people who should take care of your job. One, surely the company, and the other is you, right? And I think that is what the young people should realize now, that it is no longer an entitlement.